Hello everyone, welcome to Learning Academy Foundation from Mr. Andrea. Today I would like to show you about the biology program for higher secondary. The first section will be about cell biology. But the students will see that organisms are made up of cells. Most organisms are multicellular and have cells that are specialized to do a particular job. Microscopes are needed to study cells in detail. They will see that chromosomes carry genetic information in a molecule called DNA. A type of cell division called mitosis ensures that when a cell divides, each new cell produced has the same genetic information. And finally, they will see that for an organism to function, substances must move into and out of cells. The processes contribute to this movement, diffusion, osmosis, and active transport. The next section will be about organization, where the students will see that most animals and plants consist of different types of cells organized as tissues, organs, and systems. The human respiratory system is a body system adapted for efficient gas exchange. The major nutrients required for a healthy diet are carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. The digestive system breaks down large molecules of food, which are then absorbed into the bloodstream. Multicellular organisms require transport systems to supply their cells and remove waste products. In humans, one of the functions of the circulatory system is to transport substances. Plant cells, tissues, and organs are adapted to their functions. The stem, root, and leaves form an organ system that transports substances into, around, and out of a plant. And also that health is the state of physical and mental well-being. Factors work together and affect physical and mental health. A disease is a disorder that affects an organism's body, organs, tissues, or cells. Next section will be about infection and response, where the students will see that pathogens are disease-causing viruses, bacteria, fungi, or protists, which can infect animals and plants. So humans have an immune system which can defend them from pathogens. Some diseases can be treated with antibiotics. Vaccinations allow protection against specific diseases, but the level of protection depends on the amount of people vaccinated. Monoclonal antibodies are identical copies of one type of antibody. And finally, pathogens are disease-causing viruses, bacteria, fungi, or protists, which attack plants as well as animals. So plants have physical and chemical defenses against pathogens. The next section will be about bioenergetics, where the students we see that plants make their own food using photosynthesis. The food that plants produce is important not only for the plant themselves, but for the other organisms that feed on the plants. And all organisms respire in order to release energy to fuel their living processes. The respiration can be aerobic, which uses glucose and oxygen, or anaerobic, which uses only glucose. Next section will be about homeostasis and response, where the students will see the nervous system enables humans to react to their surroundings and to coordinate their behavior. It comprises millions of neurons and uses electrical impulses to communicate very quickly. The endocrine system secretes hormones into the bloodstream from glands throughout the body. Hormones produce an effect on specific target organs in the body. Hormones are secreted by glands in the endocrine system. During puberty, hormones create changes in physical and emotional characteristics. Homeostasis is the regulation of internal conditions inside cells of or organisms to create the optimum conditions for biological function. And finally, hormones promote growth within plants. Plant hormones are unequally distributed throughout the stems and roots, which results in parts of the plant growing in a particular direction. The next section will be about inheritance, variation, and evolution, where the students will learn that reproduction occurs in all organisms. DNA is important as it allows new proteins to be synthesized. Mutations in the DNA can have serious implications. Our genes are inherited from our parents, and the different combinations of these genes make us unique. Genetic inheritance controls the characteristics of all living things. Variation in species can be generated by genetics. Mutations arise spontaneously and can sometimes lead to genetic disorders or death. Genes can be inserted into a genome through genetic engineering. Evolution is the change of inherited characteristics within a population over time through natural selection, which may result in the formation of a new species. And living things are classified using a system developed by Carl Linnaeus. Organisms are commonly named by the binomial system of genus and species. The next section will be about ecology, where the students will learn the abundance and distribution of organisms in an ecosystem is determined by biotic and abiotic factors. Animals and plants have adaptations to allow them to compete for resources. The feeding relationships between organisms in an ecosystem can be seen in food chains. Sampling allows us to measure the abundance and distribution of these species. Decomposition or decay is the breakdown of dead matter. The rate at which it happens depends upon the number of decomposing microorganisms, the temperature and water of oxygen availability. Biodiversity is the measure of how many different species live in an ecosystem. Human activities like changing land use, deforestation, and peat bog destruction reduce this. Feeding relationships are shown in food chains. Each stage is a trophic level. Biomass is a measure of the total mass of living material in each trophic level. And finally, factors such as the increase in human population, new pests and pathogens, overhunting and armed conflict can result in food scarcity in some countries. The last section will be about practical skills, where students will see that scientific investigations have several stages: planning, collecting data, analyzing data, and evaluation. It is important to understand how to carry out each stage of the investigation. That's all about biology for higher secondary. Thank you so much for your attention, students and parents. You can find my contacts below in the slide or in the description. See you next. Bye.